Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the LED smoked roof cab lights available for all 2003 to 2018 Ram 2500s. Now, you guys should be checking out these options if you'd like to add or update the cab lights on your HD truck to something that will not only be much brighter than the stock lights thanks to the modern LEDs, but something that will also look a lot sleeker thanks to the aggressive smoked lenses. Now, when talking features here with the LED cab lights, I think the biggest will be found in the name itself, LED. Now, the factory Mopar cab lights utilize a more traditional incandescent bulb, which besides being prone to burning out over time, aren't necessarily known for their overall brightness. Now, these cab lights, on the other hand, are going to dramatically increase the brightness and thus your visibility, thanks to 9 individual LEDs per light, making for a grand total of 45 high-powered amber LEDs, producing, by the way, over 900 lumens. Now, not only will this be much brighter despite the aggressive smoke lenses, but those LEDs are also known for their longevity, oftentimes lasting many, many years without burning out or failing. Construction is also going to be another big feature here, as the smoke lenses really do produce a unique look. Now, I don't have to tell you guys that a smoke look or smoke lens is something a lot of us truck owners really dig, including myself, as it oftentimes adds a tougher appearance overall. Now, these smoke lenses have been made or molded from a durable polycarbonate material, which will be impact resistant. Now, the bottom side, as you guys can see right here, it's going to feature a soft foam backing that's going to obviously keep any vibrations to a minimum, but more importantly, it's going to act as a weather seal, preventing any moisture from getting underneath the light or the housing and into your cab. Finally, guys, the entire kit of 5 cab lights here will be backed by a limited lifetime warranty in case you run into any issues. Price point for the 5-piece kit here, guys, will live right around $100 give or take, which is pretty affordable, all things considered, and by the way, certainly more affordable than the OE Mopar cab lights. Those guys are going to run you about $100, if not more, on different websites, so certainly something to consider there. Now, with that being said, there are a number of kits available here on the site at this time. I think you'll find this option to be one of your more affordable options out there, whereas other kits might utilize an OLED. Those guys are going to run you over $200. So if you're digging the smoke look, you want to upgrade to an LED, but keep things under $100, these are certainly going to be your best bet. But let's switch gears and get into our install segment. And at this time, guys, the site has us one pegged at a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and about 30 minutes to complete from start to finish. Now, I will say that is certainly going to be for the owners out there who are simply replacing a set of factory cab lights. Now, if you're installing these things for the first time and you do not currently have factory cab lights on your HD, well then expect things to be far more difficult, as drilling will be involved. But with all that said, let's throw it out to the boys in the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you will need a ratchet, T20 Torx bit, Phillips head screwdriver, angle cutters, wire strippers and crimpers, some tape, and not included with your kit but will be required for install is male and female spade connectors. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing some roof lights on our Ram, so let's get started. So we're up here on our roof, ready to get our factory cab lights out, and for that we're going to grab our T20 Torx bit on our ratchet and go ahead and get these lights out of their seats. Go ahead and do that. Once we have that unscrewed, just going to pull this back like so. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other 4. So now once you have all of your cab lights off of your roof, we're going to go ahead and snip our factory wiring here. Now, you could go in under the headliner and go that route, but it's got enough slack and it's much easier, and the new ones need to be wired in anyway, so it's just going to be easy to just cut these wires from here. Now you do want to leave some length on your factory ones in case you want to reinstall them or reuse them. So we'll go ahead and grab our angle cutters here, and we'll just snip those off with a good amount left on our factory wires. Now one thing here, you do want to make sure you don't lose them, so we'll just kind of fold them over here, and you can even tape them out here just to make sure they don't fall back into the roof or anything. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other ones. So we've got a few things we need to do to our lights to get them ready to go on the truck. Now it's just some very light wiring. It's going to make it easier to connect and possibly disconnect these lights if you ever need to take them off without having to drop your headliner, do anything crazy like that. So we're just going to go ahead and connect these with spade connectors. So we're going to put the male side on our lights, and then the female side is going to go on the truck side. And these are very simple. So what we're going to do is grab our wire strippers and crimpers. Now these do come a little bit pre-stripped, but there's not really much sticking out. So we're going to go ahead and bring a little bit more off of there. So we're just going to set our wire into our stripper here. And just grab onto that, pop a little bit more wire off like so. Get our end off. Make sure that's nice and tight. Then we're going to go ahead on with our spade connector, like this. And we're going to go ahead and crimp these down. And you're just going to give it a little tug just to make sure the crimp is secure. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing for our black wire here. Strip a little bit more off. Make sure there's no stray wires hanging out. Go ahead and get our connector on. And we'll crimp it like so. Make sure it's nice and secure. Then we're going to repeat the same process for our other 4 lights. So now we're ready to prep our truck side wiring, and it's going to be the same exact process as we just did on our lights, just with the female side of our spade connectors. So we've got our wires here. Now I'm leaving the other wire taped in just so it doesn't move. It's always just a good idea. We'll grab our wire strippers again, come to our wire here, and just like before, we're going to go ahead and strip a little bit off of that. Get that ready. Make sure there's no strays. Wiring. Grab our female spade connector here. Go ahead, put that in place. We're going to grab our crimpers again. Come back in. Now, this is a little bit trickier because it is on the truck and you don't have free movement of your wiring. I'm just going to give that a nice crimp. And again, give it a little tug just to make sure it's secure. Then we'll do the same thing for the other wires. So now that we have our connectors on both sides, we're going to go ahead and plug our light in, and we're going to match these wires up. And our ground wire, black to black, go in just like so. Keep that nice and secure, fully seated. And then our red wire is going to go to our green and white stripe wire. This is the same for all your lights across the top here. Plug that in like so. And once we have those in, we can go ahead, tuck our connectors in, tuck our wiring down in, get our gasket lined up, as well as our light here. Then we're going to use our provided self-tapping Phillips head screws to go right back in our factory mounting points. Just going to line those up. Then we're going to grab our Phillips head screwdriver, go ahead and tighten these down. Now remember, you are tightening onto a plastic lens, so there's no need to go too crazy. You just want to make sure that gasket seats and it's not wobbling around. And once you have that done, we can go ahead and do the same exact thing for the other 4 lights. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our LED roof cab lights in smoked finish for your 03 to 18 Ram 2500. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.